Mathkicker.ai to complete every type of math in great detail with NVDA and UEB Math. Hi, this is Dr. Robinson, and today I'm going to take math from a browser, and I'm going to show you how to take the copy of the math, which is in HTML, and convert it into Mathkicker, and I'm using old technology. So I'm trying to challenge every piece of knowledge out there that you can use old technology. I've got UEB Math as the Braille viewer open, so you can see this is UEB Math. I'm using NVDA, using Windows 10. So my software and everything else is outdated, and we're gonna make this work for this is aimed at the whole world, that the whole world can use this, and the majority of the world uses UEB Math. Of course, Nemeth code works in here also. This is LaTeX, so if you know LaTeX, it can come out in the code that you want. Right now, Firefox is the only thing that is translating this math perfectly right now, but give it time and it will come about. So I'm going to go ahead and Windows 4.
Taskbar, frame, math homework Mozilla Firefox.
Okay, and it automatically loads. This is from a professor at a college, and it goes from the most simple math into the more advanced of matrices. And I'm going to do this in sections so I can go slowly, so you can learn the commands, so you can learn the LaTeX. So let's go ahead and down arrow and listen.
Clickable heading level 2 problem 1. Solve for x. 2x plus 3 is equal to 11. Heading level 2 problem 2.
So what I can tell you is you can go all the way down and this will read perfectly. Well, that's great, but it's in HTML. You still can't edit it or work in it. But this is how you do it. You're going to do Control P and you're going to print as a PDF. So I'm going to Control P.
Math homework Mozilla Firefox. 0 sheets of paper. 4 sheets of paper. Property page 1 of 4. Print dialog 4 sheets of paper. Dialog 4 sheets of paper.
And I'm just going to hush him up because he's going to keep saying that. So by default, save to PDF is by the default. And you can just hit enter here. I'm going to go the long way. I'm going to tab all the way through just so you can hear everything in this dialog box.
Orientation grouping. Portrait radio.
Shift tab again. Listen.
Destination combo box saved to PDF collapsed.
Okay. So that's by default. It lands on that all the time. So you don't have to sit there and listen. As soon as you do Control P, you know you're on Save to PDF. You can hit Enter. But once again, I'm going to tab all the way through.
Orientation grouping. Portrait rate. Pick page range combo box all collapsed.
And you do because there are 4 pages here, so you need to get all of them.
More settings button. Print using the system. Save button.
And Enter.
Print dialog for save.
Okay, so the save as, and visually, if you're looking at my box, you're going to see a gazillion of these options of me trying just many different ways to convert this properly. So I'm going to name this because I've named it so many. I'm going to name it because it's Firefox. I'm going to name it Box space, and then of course Math Homework, and I'm going to hit Enter.
Math Homework Mozilla Firefox.
Okay.
Math Homework document.
Saved. And now I'm going to go ahead and go to Chrome. I have a hot link on my desktop, so all I'd have to do is Windows M and go to Chrome, but I'm just going to Windows 3.
Mathkicker.ai, Google Chrome.
Okay, because I also have it on my taskbar, so if you put any icon on your taskbar, and then Control T and down arrow and you count across, so my Chrome is in the 3rd slot, so you combine that with Windows and instantly open it. So here we are. I'm going to Alt C. That's the fast way to go, but let's say you don't remember that. So I'm going to hit my applications key. You can also Control F6 to go up to your menu bar. So Control F6 will go up and right arrow across. I'm going to hit my applications key just so you can see, and then after this, we'll just do it the fast way.
Menu bar. Open. Save. Alt plus S. Save as 3 of 20. Convert image / PDF. Alt plus C. 4 of 20.
I'm going to stop there. You heard there's 20 options here. It's a very significant applications key. You can go down. You can choose Nemeth code. You can choose UEB Math code. I've already chosen UEB Math code, but you can go down and you can actually pick exactly what you want. and you can hear the command Alt-C, but since I'm already in my applications key, I'm going to go ahead and hit enter on that. It's going to take me to File Explorer, and then I'm just going to type in Fox and download that PDF.
Math. Open dialog file name. File name.
And you heard file name. Now my default, if I Alt-D or Control-L, you would hear downloads because that by default, that's where my dialog box opens all the time. If you're not sure where yours opens all the time, Control-L or Alt-D to your look-in, you just have to type in DOWN down arrow to downloads and open. Okay, so I'm going to type in
Fox.
And so I know I can start typing in my file name and down arrow to the file.
Foxmathhomework.pdf.
Yep, and I'm going to hit enter and open it.
Mathkicker.ai, Google Chrome, Dr. Denise M. Mathkicker.ai, Google Chrome, Dr. Denise M. Mathkicker.ai document.
Always wait for 2 chimes. You heard both chimes. Always wait for both. Okay, now when you get here, your cursor needs to be off. You're going to know that very quickly is if you down arrow and nothing happens.
Blank.
Blank. Don't we love that? Now, I also know my cursor is at the bottom. So if I up arrow.
Blank. Graphic 2x2 matrix with elements 1, 2,
Don't
3,
you love that?
4.
Yep. So we're going to get there. The matrix, very easy, lots of fun to do. Alt-M will get you there. So I'm just going to give you a little preview of what's coming up. But I'm going to Control Home, get to the top so we can take a section of this large math work at a time so you can learn each portion at a time. So I'm going to Control Home.
Blank.
And down arrow.
Blank. Problem 1.
Okay.
Blank. Solve for x. Blank. Graphic 2x plus 3 equals 11.
Okay. And once you get there, you're going to hit your F2. That is how you actually get in there and listen to each component.
Out of graphic blank.
Okay? And it,
graphic 2x plus 3 equals 11.
And it tells
space.
you what it is, but we want to move one character at a time, and you can do that in F2. So let's go ahead and F2.
Button OK. 2x button.
Okay. So here is where you're going to break everything down. Now, if I tab once, and I will do that afterwards, you're going to hear all the, now this is not really advanced LaTeX, we're starting out with basic addition and subtraction, but you will hear that. So I'm going to Control Space to change my cursor. And you heard 2x, now let's go one character at a time on a right arrow.
Plus 3 button, equals button,
Yep.
11 button.
Okay, so now it totally depends on what your teacher wants you to do. We know we need to isolate x. She may want you to start off with the plus 3 and subtract 3 from both sides. If she lets you, not have to do that, then you can just move and subtract your 3.
Equals plus 3 button.
Okay, I'm going to do it the long way this time because I will tell you I can control right arrow right now and it will automatically move it to the right side of that equal sign and it will make it a -3. But maybe these are beginner steps in class and your teacher wants you to see that what you do to one side you do to the other side. So I need to go ahead and I'm going to subtract 3 from both sides with the command Alt-B. And the command's going to start with Alt, and the letter is going to determine what you're going to do, both sides, B. So I'm going to Alt-B.
Enter what you want to apply to both sides.
Okay.
Example, /2 to divide both sides by 2, *3 to multiply both sides by 3.
And I'm going to hush them up. So it actually gives you a hint. Well, what do you want to do with this when you do Alt-B? I know I want to subtract 3 from both sides, so I'm going to hit -3. Enter.
Mathkicker.ai document. Dialog. 2x button.
Okay. Now let's go ahead and right arrow so you can hear how all of this has made perfect math. Right arrow.
Plus 3 button, -3 button, equals button, 11 button, -3 button.
Great. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to go ahead and take care of each side. Well, since I'm already to the right of this, I'm going to go ahead and take care of 11 and 3. So I need to select these.
Space. -3 11 button, space.
Okay.
11 selected.
And what I want to do is I'm going to replace 11 minus 3 with 8. Okay, so Control R.
Dialog replace 11 to 3 with equals. Edit replace 11 to 3 with 8.
with 8. And I'm going to hit enter. And 11 minus 3 is going to go away, and it's going to be replaced with 8.
Mathkicker.ai document. Dialog. 8 button.
Okay. Now I'm going to left arrow and deal with the 3 minus 3.
Equals button. Minus 3 button.
I'm going to select it with hitting spacebar.
Space.
Left
Minus
arrow.
plus 3 button.
Spacebar.
Space.
Okay.
Plus 3 selected.
They are selected, so now I can do Control R, and I'm going to replace it with nothing because I want it to just go away, because we know 3 minus 3 is 0. So Control R.
Dialog replace plus 3 to 3 with equals.
Okay.
Edit replace plus 3 to.
Just hit enter and it all goes away.
Mathkicker.ai document. Dialog. Equals button.
Let's listen to what we have. Left arrow.
2x button.
Beautiful. 2x.
Equals button. 8 button.
Okay, so what do we need to do? We want to get rid of the 2. So we need to go ahead and divide both sides by 2. So let's go ahead and Alt B, because whatever your problems are, we want to do to both sides. So Alt B.
Enter what you want to apply to both sides.
Okay.
Example, /2 to divide both sides by 2, *3 to multiply both sides by 3, +4 to add 4 to both sides, -5 to subtract 5.
And we want to divide by 2. So divide by 2 and enter.
Mathkicker.ai document. Dialog. X button.
Okay. And let's listen to the problem again.
Equals 4 button.
Okay. Now I'm going to tab to your steps.
Steps combo box X equals 4 collapsed.
Okay. And it tells you that. And now when I hit enter, it's going to tell you every single little step that we did in this whole math problem. Hit enter.
Main landmark. Section multi-line editable blank.
Okay, let's go ahead and up arrow to the top of our problem.
Graphic X equal
I'm just going to go quickly.
graphic 2x plus 3 equals 11.
Okay, so we started out with that. Down arrow.
Subtract 3 from both sides. Graphic 2x plus 3 to 3 equals 11 to 3.
Now, let's say you want to see the LaTeX on that. If you hit F9, it's going to pull that up in detail. So let's hit F9. Now, there's not going to be a whole lot of LaTeX here.
Enter the expression /equation dialog. Edit 2x plus 3 to 3 equals 11 to 3.
Okay.
3.
And I can hit left arrow.
-1 equals 3 3 plus x space 2.
Okay. I can actually I can change this. Maybe I did a goof on this. I can go ahead and erase one of the numbers. But anyway, as you get more advanced, you're going to be able to have all the LaTeX in here, and that's how you're going to learn it really quickly. Let's go ahead and hit escape and get out.
Main landmark. Section multi-line editable.
Down arrow.
Replace 11 to 3 with +8.
Okay, so it's telling you each step. So when you send this to your teacher is going to see each step that you took in order to solve your math problem.
Graphic 2x plus 3 to 3 equals 8. Cancel out plus 3 to 3. Graphic 2x equals 8. Divide both sides by 2. Graphic x equals 4.
Okay, and so we have x equals 4. Let's go ahead and go down to the next problem.
Blank. Problem 2. Blank. Solve for y. Blank. Graphic 3y5 equals 10.
Okay, so what do? F2. Let's get into it and solve our problem.
Button OK. 3y button.
Okay, we want to immediately turn our cursor off. And here we go. Let's read it.
-5 but equals button. 10 button.
Okay, so we're going one character at a time because we want to make sure we're going to go ahead and solve this correctly. We want to isolate that y. So what do we want to do? Both sides, we want to add 5 to it. So Alt B.
Enter what you want to apply to both sides.
Okay.
Plus 5.
Both sides.
Mathkicker.ai document. Dialog. 3y button.
Okay, so and once again, and I think on the next one, I'm just going to control right arrow. So we're going to say you get to the point where you actually don't have to show this step, that the teacher is going to go ahead and allow you to just move it to the other side. But once again, let's right arrow.
-5 button.
Okay, let's select it.
Space. +5 button. Space.
Okay.
+5 selected.
Yep, 5 minus 5. We want to go ahead and replace that with nothing. We want that to go away. So Control R.
Dialog replace -5 plus 5 with equals.
Okay, we
Edit
want to
replace
it
-5
with nothing. Hit enter.
Mathkicker.ai
And it goes
document.
away.
Dialog. Equals button.
Okay, we want to get to the math problem on the right hand side.
10 button. plus 5 button.
Okay. We know we need to select those so we can replace them. So space
Space,
bar.
10 button, space.
Okay, we're going to go
10
ahead and
selected.
replace those with Control R.
Dialog replace 10 plus 5, 1, 5.
And hit enter.
Mathkicker.ai document. Dialog.
We need to divide both sides by 3 in order to isolate our 3. So Alt B to both sides. So let's go ahead and Alt B.
Enter what you want to apply, /3.
Okay, /3 is divide by 3. If I wasn't sure what to do, it would have given me an example of all the different things I could do here. Hit enter.
Mathkicker.ai document. Dialog. Y button. Equals 5 button.
Okay, and I just right arrowed through that. Y equals 5. So I'm going to hit enter.
Main landmark. Section multi-line editable blank.
Okay, I'm going to hush them up. I'm going to go up to the start of the problem again.
Add graphic 3y5 equals 10.
Okay, down arrow.
Add 5 to both sides. Graphic 3y5 plus 5 equals 10 plus 5.
And you can tell sometimes it doesn't read the subtraction. If you ever have any doubt whatsoever, just hit F9.
Enter the expression /equation dialog 5 plus 0 1 equal 5 plus 5 dash y space 3.
Okay. And just know, and I think you picked up that the cursor ends at the right, so you have to left arrow through it. But if you ever have any doubt what it's actually reading, it's going to, you can just hit F9, it will read it. If you're visual, you can actually look up in your quote unquote Braille display, and you can actually see that's in UEB Math. These are for the countries that don't have, Braille displays are not readily available and they have to do it auditorily. So they must be able to move character at a time in order to make sure they're doing the math correctly. So let's go ahead and hit escape.
Main landmark. Section multi-line edit.
Continue to down arrow.
Cancel out -5 plus 5. Graphic 3y equals 10 plus 5. Replace 10 plus 5 with plus 15. Graphic 3y equals 15. Divide both sides by 3. Graphic y equals 5.
Okay, let's go ahead and continue.
Blank. Problem 3. Blank. Solve for z.
Solve for z.
Blank. Graphic for z plus 2 equals 18.
Okay, let's go through the steps. F2.
Button OK. Mathkicker.ai document. Dialog. Button OK.
Okay, I need to get that cursor off. Okay, so let's go ahead and right arrow and listen to our problem.
+2 button equals button 18 button.
Okay, so this time, instead of subtracting 2 for both sides, I'm actually going to just move the 2 to the right-hand side, and it automatically gets rid of the 2 on the left-hand side, and it subtracts it from the right-hand side. So let's do a little bit more advanced commands now.
Equals button, +2 button.
Okay, I want to go over, once again, if your teacher does not want you to do that yet, it's Alt B, and you're going to subtract 2 from both sides. But this time, I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to Control right arrow to just get that to the right-hand side.
Mathkicker.ai document. Dialog. Equals button.
And I'm going to left arrow, see here.
4z button.
4z.
Equals button.
So it automatically gets rid of that 2 minus 2.
18 button.
18.
-2 button.
Minus 2. So now we need to deal with a 18 minus 2. So space bar.
18 button.
Select
Space.
it.
18
and we're
selected.
going to replace that with 16. So Control R.
Dialog replace 18 to 2 with 1, 6.
Replace it with 16. Hit enter.
Mathkicker.ai document.
Okay.
Dialog.
We're getting down there. So now we know we have left arrow.
Equals 4z button.
4z.
Equals 16 button.
Okay, so we know we need to divide both sides by 16. Alt B. Let's do Alt B for both sides.
Enter what you want to apply to both sides.
Okay, divide
/
by
4.
4 and hit enter.
Mathkicker.ai document. Dialog. Z button.
Z, we want to make sure we have isolated that beautifully.
Equals 4 button.
Okay, sounds pretty good. We're going to go ahead and hit enter.
Main landmark. Section multi-line editable blank.
Okay, let's go ahead and up arrow and listen to this carefully.
Graphic Z equal divide graph replace graph move graphic for Z plus 2 equals 18.
Okay, so now the direction is going to be a little bit different to the teacher, so she or he knows exactly what you did.
Move +2 to right side and switch the sign to -2.
Right? That's exactly what we did.
Graphic for Z equals 18 to 2. Replace 18 to 2 with +16. Graphic for Z equals 16. Divide both sides by 4, graphic z equals 4.
And don't we love that? Let's go ahead and go down and do it again.
Blank, problem 4, blank, solve for x, blank, graphic square root of x plus 1 equals 3.
Okay, so we've got something a little more fun here. We've got square root, so let's go ahead and hit our F2.
Button OK, square root of x plus 1 button.
Okay, and right arrow, let's listen to it.
Q.
Oh, gotta change that cursor.
Equals button, 3 button.
Okay, so now that we know our problem, we know.
Equals, square root of x plus 1 button.
Okay, so we are going to do both sides, so Alt B, and we're going to do it to the power of 2, so Alt B.
Enter what you want to apply to both sides. Caret 2.
Okay, so Shift 6 gives you the caret to the power of 2 to both sides.
Mathkicker.ai document. Dialog. Square root of x plus 1, 2 button.
Okay, so let's go ahead and deal with that one first, and we're going to hit space bar, and actually not just space bar. We can just do a Control R, and we're going to replace that with x plus 1. So Control R.
Dialog replace, SQX, plus 1.
And hit enter.
Mathkicker.ai document. Dialog. X button.
And now let's deal with the right-hand side.
Plus 1 but equals but 3, 2 button.
Okay, and Control R on that one.
Dialog replace, 3, 2 with 9.
And we want to replace that with 9 and hit enter.
Mathkicker.ai document. Dialog. 9 button.
Okay, and we're going to do that fancy command that we did up above. We're just going to Control right arrow with that 1, but let's go ahead and left arrow.
Equals button, plus 1 button.
Okay, and we're going to Control right arrow, which moves it to the right-hand side and automatically changes it to the -1. Now, once again, if your teacher wants you to do both sides, you Alt B and you subtract 1 from both sides. But we're going to do the Control right arrow fancy command.
Mathkicker.ai document. Dialog. Equals button.
And let's just left arrow, make sure it did it correctly.
X button.
We like that.
Equals button.
Beautiful.
9 button.
Yep.
-1 button.
Excellent. But now we need to go ahead and replace 9 minus 1. So space bar.
9
left
button.
Arrow, space bar.
9 selected.
Control R.
Dialog replace 9 to 1 with equals.
And we want to
8.
replace it with 8 and hit enter.
Mathkicker.ai document. Dialog. 8 button.
Lovely. And enter.
Main landmark. Section multi-line editable blank.
Okay. Let's up arrow. We're going to hit F9 so you can actually walk through all of the LaTeX on this. So let's up arrow to the beginning of the problem.
Both graphic square root of x plus 1 equals 3.
Let's go ahead and hit F9 on that so you can really learn the LaTeX that you want to. So here we go.
Enter the expression / equation dialog.
I'm just going to left arrow quickly.
Backslash.
Okay, and we know it's backslash
SQRT. Left brace, x, plus 1, right brace, equals 3.
Okay, and that's the LaTeX on that. So hit escape. Escape again.
Main landmark. Section both sides to power 2.
Okay, and your teacher is seeing the work that you did.
Graphic. Square root of x plus 1, 2 equals 3, 2.
Okay, and once again, you're going to hit F9 so you can really go through that character at a time and read everything. So let's go ahead and hit F9.
Enter the expression / equation dialog.
I'm just going to hit home.
Edit left paren.
So much faster. So right arrow.
Backslash SQRT. Left brace x plus 1, right brace, right paren, caret 2. Equals left paren 3, right paren caret 2.
Okay, and that's going to help you learn how to do this type of coding. Hit escape out of it. You could hit enter.
Main landmark. Section multi-line.
Okay, let's go ahead and down arrow.
Replace SQRT x plus 1, 2 with x plus 1.
And guess what? It gives you the code again.
Graphic x plus 1 equals 3, 2. Replace graphic x plus replace 3, 2 with plus 9.
Okay, and if you really want to hear the code on that, visually you see that it's to the power of 2, but you're going to F9 on all of this.
Graphic x plus 1 equals 9. Move plus 1 to right side and switch the sign to -1. Graphic x equals 9 to 1. Replace 9 to 1 with plus 8. Graphic x equals 8.
Okay, So that is giving you a good idea of how you can go ahead and do plus and minus and some algebra, square roots, and then we're going to get into the other math as and just advance as it goes along so you can learn each one of these sections at a time. So if you would like to download this professor's math, let me go ahead and quickly switch to that again. I'm going, there we go. I'm going to Alt D so you can listen.
Navigation toolbar. Combo box collapsed. Search with Google or enter address. Edit has autocomplete selected. https://bryquin.pages.iu.edu/homework.html.
Okay, I'm going to actually repeat that to you. https://brics.pages.iu.edu/homework homework.html. And you can pull up this math sheet so you can start getting an idea of how you can actually do perfect math using outdated equipment and software. And I hope that helps. And I will switch between JAWS and NVDA. You can use both, and you can, of course, do perfect UEB advanced math. Okay, I hope that helps, and that's just the start. I will be sending out multiple videos of this whole page all the way down to the beautiful matrices that you can do using these commands. Okay, this is Mathkicker.ai, and we will just keep improving this program for you. Okay, I hope that helps, and we will see you in the future with more math. Remember to Alt-S to save and Shift-Tab to your menu. When in doubt, Applications key.